So the feature race on day 4, of course, the Cheltenham Gold Cup. It's the one that everyone wants to win. Now this year we've got the defending champ lining up in Bobsworth. An interesting story about this horse, and you'll know more than me, Mick. When the horse came in, I think he was the only one left in the field. The owners went to see him. He looked like a pony. He had a big long mane. And they said, oh, I'm not sure about this. Is he the only one left? Yeah, okay, we'll have him. And he's won a Gold Cup for them. So not a bad purchase at $5,000, was it?
It was 20 grand Bobsworth, I think. But he was actually sold by Barry Geraghty. He had him as a young horse. And Nicky Henderson and David Minton bought him because they felt sorry for Barry. So it's amazing what you know, they felt sorry for him because he was leading the horse round himself and he was struggling to get people to come and look at it. And they've ended up with an absolute champion and a horse who has an unbelievable record at Cheltenham. I know I've said it already today, but horses that perform well at the festival, they're horses that you've got to have on the right side. And Bobsworth, he's been to the festival 3 times. He's won 3 times. You know, he has no peers in that score running in the race against him. I think he's the most likely winner, but he's too short as a betting proposition unless you've already backed him. And that is the concern. I think you're looking at something for a bit of value. The worry is the ground drying is only going to play into Bobsworth's hands. You've got a horse like the Last Instalment, who I think is a very good horse. I think he's a very backable each way price. If he takes his chance in the lineup, I think he's the horse that I'd like to be backing each way. And also, I should give a good mention to Triolo Darlene. He runs in the Gold Cup, and apparently he walked the house down this morning. So they're very, very pleased with him. And I think you'll see his price tumble a little bit because of that walk this morning.
Mick, will they run Last Instalment if the ground continues drying?
That would be the concern. I think, you know, they've said that if the ground has the word soft in it, he'll be taking his chance. And you can bet your bottom dollar they might not talk about the fact of watering or anything like that, but if it continues to dry, you'd like to see the Gold Cup run, I think, on good to soft ground. If that's the case, well, then I think Last Instalment will run.
Bobsworth, rock solid profile, 5 from 5 at Cheltenham. We've also got another key contender to mention, though, who ran against him in the Gold Cup last year in Silviniaco Conti. He fell when looking in contention at the time. Much has been made of that. He's since won the King George. King George winners have a good record in the Gold Cup. Looks between the top 2.
Yeah,
Do you give him a chance?
Yeah, on paper it's definitely between the top 2. Bobsworth has this unbelievable will to win. I've done lots of these previews with Mick, and there's a great stat outside of what Mick's mentioned, is that Bobsworth hit the front 9 times over fences and never been headed. So as soon as he gets to the front, you don't go past him. And that makes him, in that match between the 2, so hard to oppose. I love Silviniaco Conti. Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't last year, but how can he get past Bobsworth? And when they're so closely matched in price, one nearly 2 to 1, one 3 to 1, you have to still side with Bobsworth. It's not the bet for me. I respect Last Instalment, but I do believe that Last Instalment won't run. I think if the weather forecast is right, the ground will dry out. I think that First Lieutenant will become a non-runner in the Ryanair chase and will switch to the Gold Cup. And I think he is extraordinarily good value at 16 to 1 each way for a horse that has a great festival record, won a Neptune, 2nd in an RSA, 2nd in a Ryanair, jumps unbelievably well out of good ground. Just, for me, has got great battles with Bobsworth in the past, 2nd to Hennessy. I think he's chased him home 3 times over fences. I just think he's amazing value each way at 16 to 1.
Yeah, he wasn't far off him in the Lexus last time. Tom, your view on this?
Well, you stop and think to yourself, immediately after the Betfair chase at Haydock back in November, Bobsworth was dismissed like an errant schoolboy. He was literally slips of paper going around from the bookmakers' representatives, 11 to 2 and even 6 to 1 about the 2013 Gold Cup winner on the strength of 1 run. They thought that had overcooked him. They thought there was nothing left in the tank. And so often you see these good horses going back, I don't know, for example, War of Attrition. They just never come back to anything like they used to be. And people thought perhaps it was the same case with this horse. But we saw the proper Bobsworth in the Lexus at Leopardstown at Christmas. And this switch back to a track where he's unbeaten. 3 festival wins, 5 Cheltenham wins. I know the price isn't sexy, but you're in the business of backing winners rather than trying to get a gallant run for your money and finishing 6th out with the washing. So I think the winner is Bobsworth. Huge respect to Silviniaco Conti, a horse who was travelling with the wrath of God when he came down 3 out last year. Again, as the fellas say, exactly bang on the money. That last instalment, you'd have to be worried if you backed him anti-post. He was 40-1 before he won the Irish Hennessy, 6 and 7-1 now. But will he run? First lieutenant, well, that'll put a bit of a hole in my Thursday strategy if he turns up here. So hopefully Bill is getting his wires crossed, but I fear you're probably accurate. Captain Chris, better the other way round. Triolo Delen, got to be a lively each-way horse in light of mixed comments. And then you look through the remainder each-way chances, but the winner, Gina, definitely Bobsworth.